Welcome back, Lad, and welcome to another episode of the Lad and Welcome podcast. I have a good one for you today. I'm going to be talking about why I decided to vote for Donald J. Trump. I've actually been a Donald Trump supporter since 2016, but that's beyond the point. I just want to talk about why I chose to vote for Donald J. Trump in this election. But with that being said, this is your host, MP, and behind the scenes.
AZ.
And AZ, how you been, bro? How'd you feel about this election? You know, it was a good one. It was an important one. How do you feel about it?
Pretty good, I guess. I mean, I'm glad to see that it wasn't really very much close race at all.
Were you expecting a landslide?
No, I was not. I was expecting it to be a lot closer, actually. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's good. I mean, the reason why, for me anyway, right, just because of how much she was trying to block censorship. So I hope...
Block censorship?
Yeah, I mean, she was trying to censor people.
Oh, okay.
My bad, yeah.
I think she censored us on Instagram.
You did.
Our Instagram page got deleted, 2 weeks before the election. It's kind of sus. I don't know.
A little bit too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And I have been campaigning for Trump for a long time. So, you know, I don't know. The coincidence is kind of, you know, there, you know. And you're right. If Trump ever wants to come on, he's more than welcome to, you know. And if he ever wants to hire me to be the face of the Latino vote, hey, bro, with open arms, I'll do it.
Crazy, but yeah.
What do you mean crazy, bro? What if I'm just out there like the representative for all Latinos right there just chilling? I'm just playing. But let's make sure we're liking, sharing, and most importantly, subscribing. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so help us accomplish that by a simple subscribe. Also, check out our website, louderwealthclub.com, where we post articles about finance and politics. Sign up for our newsletter today. But, yeah, man, I voted for Trump. Did you vote?
I know, bro,
you didn't practice your vote, your right to vote, my boy. You want to
no.
live in the dictatorship? Do you want to live in North Korea?
Nah, I would hate North Korea.
Okay, so then why not vote?
Because we're in California, man. This shit don't matter here.
You know what's funny is California was red for the most part, like in the Central Valley and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what caught my attention, bro, was when I tapped on our state map.
Yeah,
it was never dark blue or dark red. They were both light red and light blue, meaning I think most of California was really undecisive, bro. I feel like a lot of people in a lot of counties. I mean, yes, a lot of Trump won some counties, barely, and Kamala barely won some counties. Like I said, bro, there was no dark blue, no dark red. You know how in some states you go and there's like all dark red or like light red, light blue, dark blue. California was light all around. So, you know, even though I want to leave the state of California, it kind of gave me optimism, bro. Kind of gave me faith. You think California might be going red?
A little bit.
Because there were only 2 million votes away.
Yeah.
For like difference. Right. And if I remember correctly, I believe in 2020, the difference was more like 4 million. So that got cut in half.
Yeah.
Could California be, you know, trajected to become a red state? Who knows, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think this one was a really weird election.
Well, they couldn't cheat. That's the most I can say. And you know what's crazy, bro? So if you do the math, less people voted in 2024 than in 2020.
Really?
Kind of interesting, huh? Kind of really makes you question those votes at 4 a.m.
I didn't even know there was votes at 4 a.m.
Oh, you don't remember that? You don't remember last election?
No.
So remember when the results were counting and stuff like that? Well, Biden had like a low amount of votes, and then all of a sudden at 4 a.m. that night, boom! He just like he got like just a fucking spike, yes.
Damn.
Yeah. But anyways, man, let me just get to the point. You know where we were talking about last election, this election, man. I've been in politics for 8 years. I've been in politics heavily for the past 8 years, but I really got introduced to it at 8 years old when Obama became president. Actually, he opened my eyes to a potential political career. You know, when I was a kid, he motivated me to want to become the first Mexican-American / Hispanic or Latino president. That's still a goal of mine. You know, if God willing, if I get to the ripe age of like 60, 70, and I have the money and I have the support, I'll run for president all day. But that guy gave me hope. I was a Democrat at that time. And, you know, as I continued to go to school, I was in second grade. You know, I started learning a little bit more about the political parties. I remember in third grade, they kind of, you know, gave us a rundown, Democrat, Republican. We learned that the Republicans freed the slaves. We learned that the Democrats were the South, the Dixiecrats. And we learned, we just learned a lot of things. And I kind of, at that age, at third grade, I kind of already knew I was more of a conservative. But at that time, that R word, I'm sorry, was a bad word. They had a lot of stereotyping going around. So, I was told that the R word meant you were racist, and the R word being Republican. So anyways, I grew up going to middle school, stuff like that. Obama was president. I thought he was good. Then Donald J. Trump came around, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. I've seen him on TV. Because, there was a point in time, or I remember this clearly, telling my mom, hey, Mom, I want to be as rich as that guy Donald Trump. Because you see him on TV, you see all the luxurious lifestyle. And, I love capitalism. I love materialistic things. I want to be successful. I want to be like that guy. That's exactly what was my mindset. But when he ran for president and they started not liking him, I was only, I believe I was a junior or a sophomore. A junior, I'm sorry. I think, it was junior year. I was a junior, and I was just questioning on why the media didn't like Donald Trump when a couple years earlier, they were praising him. They were respecting him. So it made me question the guy. What do? I looked up at that time, because I was still confused on my political identity, what a Democrat and what a Republican really stands for. I came to realize, I was brainwashed. I came to realize that the Democratic Party didn't stand for my morals and values. See, I was raised a diehard, lifelong Catholic, a Roman Catholic at that. And, being from Mexican descent, being a first-generation immigrant, I was really deceived by the Democratic Party to vote for them due to immigration issues. And, I just came to realize at that time and age, one, I was born in the United States, so I'm American. Two, my dad, when I was born, was already a resident. And three, my mom was a resident. Well, immigration doesn't really affect me is what went through my head. So I said, okay, well, if immigration doesn't affect me, what does affect me? The economy, inflation, housing prices, the cost of living. So I said, okay, so my issue here isn't with immigration. My issue here is with being an American. So, my Mexican parents raised me to believe I was Mexican. And, I am Mexican, obviously, through ethnicity, through culture, through heritage. But I told my parents, what has Mexico ever done for me? And my parents couldn't answer that question, other than they gave you your parents. And I told them, well, Mom, you always told me that in Mexico, public schools are not that good. That if you want a good education, you need to go to a private school. And I could get a good education here just by doing it public. I'm like, Mom, America's better, right? America has gave me the opportunity to do what I want. And my mom said, you know what, you're right. You are an American. You know what? That's just a stigma us immigrants have. And, we try to put that into our kids. So my parents' mindset started kind of shifting there. Even though my mom raised me to be anti-socialist, she wasn't too aware of what was going on in the U.S. So Donald J. Trump wins. And obviously everyone was freaking out. I remember back in high school, everyone, same thing. What's going on here? They're going to deport you. They're going to send you back. They're going to send back your uncle. They're going to send back your mom and dad. Shut the fuck up. Stop being stereotypical and racist and thinking everyone's illegal, one. And two, they're not going to do that. If you read the policy, it says anyone that commits a crime or any alleged gang member, cartel member, or drug dealer. People don't read policies, obviously. And for you liberals that think of Project 2025, we'll get to you next. But anyways, Trump won. And a year later, I started my first business at the age of 17. MP Auto Detailing. Amazing. I started at $25 a wash. A year later, I went mobile. A year later after that, I had an employee. I had one van, and we were doing multiple cars a day. Then 2020 came around, COVID. I didn't know what was next. I didn't know what I was going to do, right? Well, it was actually the greatest year of my business. With the stimulus checks going on and everything, people had money, people were spending it, and people were allowing my business to flourish and grow. Well, a year later, I said, you know what? Let's get a second van. Let's take out a business loan Now let's hire some more employees. So I ended up hiring 4 people, 2 vans running, fully equipped. I'm talking about over $30,000 in just equipment alone. Well, Biden, when he came into office, stopped the Keystone Pipeline, which, as we know, affected, gas prices. Maybe not immediately, but it affected it. Then we went to war with Ukraine. Gas was already hitting $6 to $7 at that time, when with Trump, we were paying $3 to $4. Well, inflation also came in place. I had over 5 clients move out of state. Well, that's unfortunate. That's a big hit. No biggie though. We'll find new clients. That's what I thought. Well, more clients weren't calling. I had people I had to pay. People were depending on me to pay their bills. So we're fighting it through. We're marketing. We're doing as much as we can for the next 4 months. And it got to the point where I had to downsize. I got rid of 1 van. Got rid of all the equipment, got rid of my employees, went back to just 1 van and myself. Did that for the next year. Went from making a profit to breaking even. Got to the point where I was breaking even too much, too long, where it didn't make sense to continue the business. And I had equity in my business, so I ended up selling, taking out that profit, paying off some debt, and keeping some for myself. Look, I started my business in a Trump presidency, and I had to sell it during a Biden presidency. It was all due to inflation, all due to the high cost of living, customers not being able to pay for that luxury anymore, customers having to lose some of their jobs, go down to a lower paying job, some customers even leaving the state. So, what the fuck, right, is what I thought. I went from, in 2021, having a successful business where I was taking vacations and getting paid while on vacation and had my investments at all-time highs, to having to downsize, having to really, really get tight with my money and go literally live almost paycheck to paycheck. I mean, paycheck to paycheck, meaning, I'm literally not left with any free money left over after investing, saving, and all that stuff, right? My budget. So I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm like, bro, this is not it. I moved out with my girlfriend during this time. I would like to get married. I'd like to buy a house. I can't afford a wedding right now. I can't even save money for a wedding. I can't buy a house right now. Houses are tremendous. They're crazy. Mostly if I want to stay in California. Yet, we look at the policies that impacted the cost of living, that impacted gas, and it all leads back to the Biden administration. As much as liberals want to deny it, the Biden administration is what causes the economy to crash. Yes, you could blame the Federal Reserve. Yes, the Federal Reserve has a lot more to do with it. But if there was proper policies to combat it, we wouldn't be in this position today. So I say this, to everyone that's listening. Yes, I'm a 24-year-old Gen Z Latino, first-gen American that voted for Trump. And the reason being is because the Biden administration downgraded my life, downgraded my lifestyle, downgraded my pay. Put me back 4 years behind. It's the best way for me to put it. And for all you crybabies saying, oh, they're going to have to pour you into this, I don't fit your racist stereotype, 1. And 2, I invite you all to read the policy word by word. And unless you have comprehension issues, I can read it for you. But I invite you all to read it word by word. And America First policies always directly impact American Latinos. Just for you guys' information. But with that being said, that's the reason why I voted for Donald Trump, man. What do you think, AZ? Why are you laughing, fool?
That was a lot, man. That was your life story for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Literally. But yeah, man.
But it's the truth, though. It's like,
yeah.
it's I feel like, bro, I got to be real and I got to show my testimony, my Republican testimony.
Absolutely, yeah.
What do you think of it, though? What are your opinions after hearing that?
Man, I mean,
Would you have done the same thing I would have done, or?
yeah, of course, of course. I mean, I understand your point of view. Absolutely. I mean, I've seen people too. We've heard multiple people who went
Oh yeah,
through
yeah, of course.
really tough times. So
Or that are going towards, like they're
yeah,
going through it right now as we speak.
still, of course, yeah. Even to this day, I mean, everybody, especially with cost of living right now, is ridiculous. So, I mean, yeah, I can't even imagine having all that, people to pay and stuff and shit, everything going to shit.
Bro,
Basically.
not only that, but imagine trying to fucking start a life.
Yeah.
Like you're doing all that, and yet you're also trying to get married. You're also trying to maintain your girlfriend. You're also trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, look, in reality, if I didn't have the podcast, I'd be fine. But I'd rather put this towards the podcast. I'd rather invest into the podcast. That's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? I also created myself to live paycheck to paycheck with, because I like to have stuff like this. I like to invest in myself and stuff like that. But I will say though, under Trump, I would be able to do all this and still have way more money left over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to mention one thing though, because I did think about this when I was thinking about this episode. When Trump was president, I wasn't living home alone yet. So I do want to put that out there. Could be that maybe living on my own really put me in a different position than what I was in 2016. But either way, bro, I don't think what I just explained, what happened to me the past 4 to 5 years, I don't think is any reason to keep Biden or the Harris administration in office. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions, leave them down in the comments. Give us a like, but most importantly, subscribe. But with that being said, all money and no money out. Stay dedicated, stay motivated, and we'll see you on the next one, Line of Wealth Club. Don't be a little bitch. Go Trump.